Spoiler alert, the following podcast includes discussions on film that may potentially, intentionally or inadvertently, reveal plot twists, character traits, story details, up to and including endings that might otherwise be considered spoilers. Proceed at your own risk.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
All right. How the hell did Top Gun get nominated for Best Picture?
I don't fucking know.
Because it made $1.5 billion?
That's probably why, yes. The Avatar syndrome.
Yeah, Avatar has made $2.1 billion.
Yes.
How the fuck did that happen?
By the way, welcome to Moviesucktastic.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I'm Scott. That's Joey.
Hi.
And today we're reviewing Top Gun Maverick.
Maverick. Came out Memorial Day weekend, 2022. And it seemed like it didn't stop making money for a really long time. It's the highest grossing film in North America in 2022. Made $718 million. Avatar might hit that. But I actually don't think it will. I think Top Gun Maverick will stay the number one for 2022.
Please specify Avatar or Avatar 2 when saying that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Avatar 2.
Thank you. I just want to make sure I understood.
Yes.
Yeah, now, I want to start right off. Now, when did you see Top Gun?
Saw it a while ago. I think I saw it over the summer.
No, I mean when you first saw it.
The first film from 1986?
Yeah.
I saw it, we rented it in 1986, so I saw it in 1986.
Okay.
At some point, it was one of the, so there were two films that came out that year that you could purchase to own.
Oh,
you remember when Batman did it in 1989, where like from that point on, it was kind of like the thing to do for a lot of movies. Well, before that, they would do that very, very selectively. It's like Top Gun in 1986 was priced to own. Crocodile Dundee was priced to own. 1988 was Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
And not to get too far into it, but the reason for that being rare at the time was because all videotapes were priced to be sold to retail mom and pop rental shops.
Yes,
because that was the main focus. They weren't really thinking that point of selling them directly to the consumer.
Correct.
So I know because the first videotape we ever rented, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, was broken, and they blamed us, and they tried to make us buy it. It was like a $98 video.
Yeah, the average price for a VHS tape back in the day, you could buy them. You absolutely could buy them, but you were paying $89.99. Sometimes it was like $99.99. It was between $90 and $100.
Yeah, Batman was the first time that you were tripping over them at the grocery store.
Yes, and they were selling like crazy because they were selling them for like $12 or $15.
Right. So anyway, the reason I asked you that is because you saw it when it first came out, like most people did, or around then. This is a film, the first film, the film everybody loved. My wife forced me to watch it 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh.
I never cared to see it. No reason to see it. Don't care for war propaganda films. Nothing about the film. And again, you see it in the cultures. Like, yeah, there's no reason to watch it. She forced me to watch it. All right, it's a bad film. It is. I can see why people like it. That whole thing. But it was not a good movie. It was just an entertaining film. As far as like screenplay, acting, all that shit, it's just a bad movie.
Yeah, I mean it's a traditional Tony Scott film. It's got his flair all over it.
Right.
So, I mean, I enjoy the original film. I do watch it from time to time. I like it. I like it. Everything from the flight scenes to the music, which, by the way, they were very smart to keep the music from the original film in this.
Well,
because
they kept half the original film in the film, so let's not go too crazy.
I mean, just on the nostalgia aspect alone, when the theme song starts playing, people that love the original film are like, "All right, I'm in. This is awesome."
So the reason I'm bringing this up is I want to make sure that it's understood that when I go into this film, it's void of the nostalgia that a lot of people have for this. I have no nostalgia for Top Gun. I didn't even see it till a few years ago and didn't want to and don't care to see it again. There's nothing like that impeding me, but I don't hate the film, so there's no bias against it.
Right.
Now, right off the top, the title of the film, Top
Yes.
Gun Maverick.
Yes.
All right. Normally, I would ding it for that. I'm tired of these sequels where they use the original titles. Like, if you're gonna do that, just put a fucking 2 on it. But to be fair, there are a lot of other films and TV shows called Maverick, so they would not be able to get away with the film title Maverick. So I think it makes perfect sense that they did it that way. So I give it credit.
Well, and I don't think they would ever have gotten rid of Top Gun anyway. It's too synonymous. It's just they want to attract you to the film.
And put a 2 on it.
I think they can't.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think listen, I think they would have come off thinking that was cheesy. You might have got.
Because it is.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten a 2. You would have just got Roman numerals.
I'm just
Top
saying
Gun I. That's what you would have got.
These are my rules, but I'm giving them a pass.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So what you're I mean, there's no reason to rehash the movie, right? It's basically the first film.
Well, they touch on a lot of things from the first film, like Tom Cruise is not ranked.
Opening.
He's not ranked higher. It is a similar opening. He's not. He's not
identical opening.
He's not ranked. He's not ranked higher than he should be. He's still quote unquote dangerous, as Iceman said in the first film. You're dangerous. That's why I don't like you. But of course, Iceman recruits him to teach these new recruits how to fly, how to do combat, and because he's the best at it, so they get him for that. But even though the opening is pretty much the same, I still liked it.
The beginning's still the same. They still have the same setup with the instructor being met beforehand and then being revealed later. They still have this. We had to insert this stupid love interest because we couldn't get Kelly McGillis.
Well, they weren't. They weren't getting her. This was not happening.
I wasn't belaboring the point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that's similar. It's basically like they took Top Gun and they kind of inserted Iron Eagle into it
somehow.
The final, like the last third act, it's like I feel like I'm watching an Iron Eagle sequel, but a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, but I'm saying the film is like practically it's you remember everybody bitching about the first new Star Wars film?
Yes.
Where they said, "Oh, it's just like the same as the original Star Wars." That's what I'm saying now about this and Top Gun.
Right, and this got nominated for Best Picture.
Right. So, and now I interrupted you though. They recruit these kids because they have to do a secret mission, and the secret mission is this unnamed country where they have to nail this very precise missile silo. Or nuclear uranium refinery.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's you don't want to go there unless you have to situation, and then they have to. So
it's like a someone's gonna die situation.
So they
have to try to get out alive.
They start training for that mission, and nobody can do it. And Tom Cruise, Maverick, he tells us, no, it can be done. And they're like, no, it can't. So he goes in and does it himself, and he's like, shit, because he wasn't gonna head the mission. He wasn't gonna fly out with them. And then he goes and he does it, and does it amazingly well. So they're like, shit, all right. Not only is it can be done, but he's gonna go out with them, and he's gonna continue training them. But of course,
and of course, in doing so, he kind of he changes the mind of the what's his name, the admiral over him.
Yeah, played by John Hamm.
I think I'm finally getting a little tired of John Hamm.
He's finally doing more things that he's getting noticed for.
Doing less interesting things. He's like he's just being John Hamm.
No. Listen.
I'm not saying he was bad.
No, I'm just saying if you're asked to be in Top Gun 2, you're probably not going to say no. And then after it makes almost $1.5 billion, you got to be thinking, if you're John Hamm, yeah, that was a good choice.
I'm not saying he should have taken the money. I'm just saying all he really does in the film is be John Hamm. There's really not much acting to it. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying I haven't
seen the new Fletch film with him in it. I hear it's good.
Not bad. Yeah, I liked it. It's a bit it's low. It's more. It's not as madcap as the Chevy Chase one. It's more subdued.
Okay. Is it closer to the books then in that regard? Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, I do love the Chevy Chase. I do love the Chevy Chase films, though.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah.
Even though he's a dick, I still have a soft spot for him as that character.
I think we're straying.
We are straying. I'm sorry.
Back on track.
But they also throw in the sideline story of Goose, his old partner that dies, because his son is also a fighter pilot, was played by Miles Teller.
Poor man Shia LaBeouf.
Better actor. But anyway.
Fair.
I wouldn't so far as say poor man's. He doesn't get in trouble.
Just the phrase.
He doesn't get in trouble, and Hollywood has noticed him a lot more than LaBeouf, because LaBeouf gets noticed because he does dumb things.
Hey, I don't think poor man's Michael Cera is a poorer actor than Michael Cera. It's just the poor man's version of Michael Cera. That's all.
Poor man's Michael Cera has been nominated for an Oscar, whereas Michael Cera is never going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. The saying works both ways.
Okay.
Stop taking offense and move on.
I'm not taking any offense.
It sounds like it.
No.
All right, but anyway, yeah. So and they had this mission.
But you know what? I mean, this is supposed to be present day, right?
Yes.
So with that, if you go, and I imagine Top Gun is supposed to take place present day for that movie too, the original film.
Yes.
Okay, so that means we're looking at 36 years apart between movies. Okay, yeah. Now Miles Teller's character is a little kid in the first Top Gun movie. We're talking like 4 years old. We'll just say 4 years old. Am I to believe that Miles Teller's character is a 40-year-old man? Because
are we going to complain about realism in the film? Because that's
no. I'm just saying, the timeline is a little off, just a little.
Fair enough.
I'm not gonna give it a bad review because of it.
It's Hollywood.
But if they were gonna do that, that would mean what?
It's not as bad as the Chainsaw series, all right? Cut a little slack.
Chainsaw.
They had to get an actor. Come on, leave him alone.
Yes.
So, I want to briefly point out.
Yes,
that
please do.
One of the things. Pardon?
I said please do.
Oh, then I will.
There you go.
One of the things that also carried over from the first film is that this is basically a war propaganda movie or pro-military propaganda.
Sure.
The key features, of course, are one. The enemy is unnamed, just foreign. Two, we never see any of the faces of the enemy that are killed. They are faceless, just like G.I. Joe with Cobra, just like Star Wars with the stormtroopers. We dehumanize the bad guys to make sure that there's no sympathy on the other side. None of the young men actually die during this whole film. so
Right.
there are no casualties except for accidental stuff. This guy, poor Val Kilmer. Oh, I haven't watched the documentary, so I was unprepared for that.
The documentary, man. If you're unprepared for him in this, do not watch that documentary.
I am so aware of how my concept of time is fucked when it comes to films and actors and stuff, because I just think of them as in the film that I'm watching. So, and then I see them in like modern day in a new film, and it's like, holy Jesus, what happened to him? It was like the Fablemans at the end. Stephen Lynch plays John Ford.
David Lynch.
David Lynch, sorry, it's not Stephen Lynch. David Lynch plays John Ford, and I was just like, gee, what happened to David Lynch?
He got old.
What? But when? When did that happen? I was watching him argue with the monkey just last month. Oh my God! It just jars me every time. I really it really messes with my time perception.
Of course.
But yeah, I mean the film's heavy on that stuff, and it's really it's like, again, it's a pro war film, because of course in this situation, like every other situation, we're just bombing an isolated location covered mostly by automated machinery, not like, areas with civilians where we're just dropping shit. No, that's those drone things, whatever. We're never going to be in that situation. It's always this idealized situation is presented with a positive outcome. Everything's okay at the end. It's fucking war.
Yeah. Do you know this movie was made almost 4 years ago?
I'm assuming COVID slowed it down, or
No. So the film was made in 2019. It was supposed to be released in 2019. But
oh, really?
Yes. So
okay.
So what ended up happening was they had a date picked and everything, and they decided to push it because they didn't feel that it was a strong enough date. So what ended up happening was they pushed it, and then fucking COVID happened.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't know what to do because of Hollywood, because no one was going to the movies. Everything was going straight to streaming, because people weren't gathering in large crowds anymore at that point. So they were going to release it in 2019, didn't happen. Then COVID hits, and then they were going to try and release it again in 2020. And then when they saw that movies were not making money,
wait a minute, you mean that was Val Kilmer 4 years ago?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was before the documentary.
That's like it's like just as tragic as like Patrick Swayze. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right, now you want to hear the part of the my take on the film that I haven't told you yet?
Sure.
I did enjoy it.
It's a fun movie.
It is. It is such a I mean, it's formulaic. It's the same formula from the original Top Gun.
Yeah.
But it's a formula that works, and it's done right in this film. They get the first 3 minutes of the bar scene is like, I don't give a fuck about any of these characters. 10 minutes later, I did. I gave it. The film's really good, and when Tom Cruise walks into that diner in the opening.
Oh yeah, it's like, where am I?
I laughed.
Yeah.
Aw, and I know what the kid was gonna say, but I still laughed. It just done. It's a fun film. I even told Holly, I said, you know what, you might want to watch it. I was shocked. Now, does it deserve Best Picture?
Oh fuck no. Fuck no.
And it does not deserve Best Adapted Screenplay.
No. I actually had gotten into a conversation with someone that thought that Tom Cruise was going to get nominated for Best Actor, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, you'll probably get a Best Picture nomination, which you won't win, but that's what's going to happen. And of course, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's why I don't read entertainment news anymore either. I saw the one headline, like I think it was yesterday, and it was like, why Top Gun fans are upset and enraged that Tom Cruise was slighted in the Oscars. It's like bullshit.
No, it's fucking it's clickbait garbage.
There are no Tom Cruise fans out there who give a shit about him being nominated for Best Actor.
Well,
and if they
sure
did,
some of them are, but nobody.
But not for this movie.
But listen, I'm sure there are, but an article being written about it, because
If it's
24
less than
hour
1,000
20,
people,
20
it's not worth talking about.
24 hours a day there has to be just constant clickbait, constant just like stories, news story. It's 24 hours a day. It's just why it's the most fucking trite garbage. Sorry.
No, I know that's a trigger for you, so we'll just dial off of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I'm willing to say I enjoyed the film. At the end, I was actually anxious during the whole thing. As stupid as it was, I liked it.
You know what else they did well too. All of the fighter jet scenes or any of the scenes in any of the jets were all real. They did not do CGI on those. They actually all went and got training. Not to fly a jet, but to have training to actually be in a jet when they're hitting all those.
The interior shots.
Yeah, like when they're hitting those G-forces, that's why I see the slides you have of Tom Cruise's face. Mm-hmm. Like that's his real reaction because he's hitting like 9 Gs. It's 12 Gs in some of these. It's like it's crazy, what they're hitting with those, but because it was all real. So it was actually a cinematic achievement in that respect. So I think that's another reason why it's getting a lot of attention is because none of it was, they didn't put them in a fake cockpit and CGI all that shit around them. They were actually in these jets and they actually filmed it and it was actually done extremely well.
And that it's got to be why it really grabbed my attention too. I don't care. I don't give a shit about planes. I don't care about the military. It's not my kind of film. But I was just as engaged as I was back in the '80s with Iron Eagle. It's the same quality film. It's not doesn't mean it's bad, but that's why it has a 99% rating because it's made to please everybody. There's really nothing offensive in this film.
Is that 99%?
Yeah.
Let's see.
So there's nothing to really offend, except it offends snobs like me. But even I like the film. So
yeah, no, I enjoyed it quite a bit actually.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So
but yes, Best Picture, fuck no. A lot of fun, yes. So what else is it nominated for? So it's nominated for Best Picture. I bet it's nominated for just a lot of technical
my
stuff.
OneNote is fucking with me.
A lot of technical stuff, I bet.
It's just fucking with me. Okay, I got it right here because I'm all set up here. I got Maverick is up for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Song, Best Film Editing, Best Sound, Best Visual Effects.
Aside from the adapted, it's all technical stuff other than Best Picture and adapted.
And song.
It's whatever. Fucking song. What's
killing me, Smalls?
Fucking song. Who gives a fuck? I wish they got rid of that category. You know what I wish? I wish they just gave it to them, off camera. It's like yesterday, the day before the show.
Shipment.
Well, it's like the day before the show. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, Lift Me Up, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever song won. Oh, great, thanks. Now I don't have to fucking listen to it.
Just a drone drops it.
I just get rid of the goddamn category, please.
Well, let's be fair. Let's get rid of the Oscars at this point. It's useless. A lot of it. It's a good year.
They'll never do that, even though viewership is down every single year.
Gee, I wonder why.
Well,
just do a 2-hour fucking show.
Yeah,
it's not that fucking hard.
No. It isn't, but
no one gives a shit about the dance routines. Just give the fucking Oscars out.
Yeah, I think last year was the lowest viewed show in North America in like something like 10 years or 20 years.
Well,
I think only I want to say only something like 11 million people or 8 million people watched it.
Well, after the whole Kevin Smith thing, I think a lot of people... Kevin Smith? What the fuck?
Wow.
Will Smith.
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Oh, at least it's not as bad as what I did at work the other day when I was talking about how bad Bad Boys 3 was.
I haven't bothered to watch it yet.
And I'm talking to one of my African American coworkers who liked the film and I didn't, but I have specific reasons. And I was just saying, yeah, and and then like the whole film was just there to prop up Kevin Murphy. She's like, excuse me. It's like, oh, I'm horrible with names. Damn it. Yeah, it's what's his face.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, no, Kevin Hart. I said Kevin Hart. That's what it. Not, who the hell's Kevin Murphy?
I don't know who Kevin Murphy is.
Yeah, I meant Kevin Hart. See, that's how bad I am with names.
Yeah.
I said Kevin Hart, and she was like, "What?" It's like, no, Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence. Kevin Hart.
And I actually like what's his face?
What? Martin Lawrence? No, Kevin Hart. Will Smith.
Kevin Hart. He's not bad. He's okay. I have no problem with him.
He's fine.
Yeah, Martin Lawrence is the one that's not funny anymore. I was just saying, yeah, like the whole, but so yeah, I did that, but that's different than this because what's his face is white.
Bad Boys 3 came out in January of 2020, and it made a lot of money because it was like, I think it was the #1 grossing film in 2020, because then because the pandemic hit in March, nothing else made money the rest of the year.
You know how good that film was? I don't remember anything from it.
Oh, really?
But I can vividly tell you like scenes from the first two films. So that movie just had nothing in it that stuck with me. I don't remember anything except the fact that Martin Lawrence like barely walked the entire film.
Michael Bay didn't direct that one, did he?
I believe not. I hope not. I don't think so.
Well, I'll look it up real quick.
Wait. My bad. Anyway, Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Yeah, so I think we agree. It is a good film, but it just isn't Best Picture quality. And if it was only 5 nominees, this would definitely not be up there. And we know my stance on the screenplay one.
Of course, yes.
Actually,
Bad Boys for Life had 2 directors.
Oh, yeah.
Never a good sign.
That explains why I don't remember much from it. Yeah, it was a very underwhelming film coming off of Bad Boys 2, which I'm a huge fan of.
It had 2 directors and 3 screenwriters and 2 people. So 2 story buys, two writers and 3 screenwriters. That's 5 fucking people involved in that.
Well, the story by just means like the credit to the people that wrote the original screenplays. But they had multiple writers. So they had people punching that up to try to fix it. Probably writing around Martin Lawrence.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. So it's story by Peter Craig and Joe Carnahan, and they're also 2 of the screenwriters. So it's 3 screenwriters. That's not too crazy. That's not too crazy. But 2 directors, not a good thing. It's never good.
Very, very underwhelming. I mean, dude, Bad Boys 2 saved me from a pit of despair. I just watched the Texas Chainsaw remake, and I was like, this is bad. What's going on in life? It's not worth living. And I was like, Bad Boys 2, what's that? Ha ha ha. Yeah, it just breathed life into me. That was like, it was a savior that night. Worst double feature ever.
Yeah. You liked one, you hated one.
Yeah. No. But yeah.
So it's currently sitting at an 8.3 on IMDb.
Uh-huh.
You think this is an 8?
I mean, the only reason I want to say 7 is as far as screenwriting goes. Like I said, it's practically a remake of the first film. It's all callback nostalgia. It's very well done and enjoyable callback nostalgia, but that's all it is. So I really don't think it deserves any credit for the screenwriting.
I'm good with a 7. I think 7 is solid.
Yeah.
Is it?
We've agreed it's not Oscar worthy.
It isn't. But I mean, also, with that said, it is of a higher quality than a lot of films that are like it, and a lot just films in general. It's well made. It's very well made.
It's a solid 7. I would go 7.5 if we had the option.
There you go. I would too. I think that would be a perfect option to go 7.5. So yeah. All right. Let's go with a 7. I'm good with a 7.
7 it is. Bringing down the average. Ha.
All right. I am tired.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and end this. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Moviesucktastic.com. Go there. Visit it. Download or listen to the show there. Go to iTunes. Bathe in it. Go to iTunes and you can do the same thing. You can go to Facebook.com/Moviesucktastic and check out everything that we're doing there. You should check it out. It's I think you'll enjoy yourself. You can email us at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can also leave us voicemail at 908-514-4470. You can also just do a search for us online on your favorite search engine. Just do a search for Moviesucktastic. We come right up. Download your favorite podcast player, and you can do a search for us there. You can also go to moviesucktastic.com/mst.apk and download our app. But if you can go and download one, it works just as well. We're trying to get on Spotify, which I am working to do. That'll be coming soon. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
I feel the need for speed.
Yeah, which they didn't say that in the sequel, did they?
No, they did not.
They did not.
You know what? That's not one of the lines they carried over.
They get points for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week when we review 2 more movies. We don't know what those will be yet, but expect 2 more next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Happy trails.